Hello friends. If you're getting this video, you are a friend. So those of you that wanted sourdough starter, let me show you how to feed your starter, and I'll give you some. So I'm going to be giving you 200 grams of starter, and this is how you take care of it. So if you have a digital scale, it makes it a lot easier. If not, I'll give you about how much of what you need. So things you'll need: flour. Any flour will work. AP flour will work just fine, all-purpose. I prefer to use unbleached flour to make bread. It's just a little bit better for it. So what I do to actually feed my starter is I use Bob's Red Mill whole wheat flour. I tried regular AP flour and it just wasn't as strong and fragrant as the whole wheat. So that's what I've been sticking with. And also it was available at the store. Everybody wants the Bob's Red Mill unbleached AP flour apparently right now in this pandemic. So that was available and it works out great. So you can use any unbleached whole wheat flour that you can get your hands on. Farmers markets might be the best place to go if you're looking for that. The other things we have just hanging around, I've got regular gold unbleached AP, and I also have unbleached bread flour. That was available, so I got that. So anyway, the starter I have lives in this little container. This container, I measured how much it weighs before I put the starter in, and this is, you can see on the bottom, 87 grams. So when I weigh this out, I'll know how much I have. So just add 87 grams to whatever I have. So that being said, if I weigh it right now, I'm gonna zero it. It's on grams. I'm gonna weigh it. It should be about 687 and 672. So I want to get rid of everything so that I'm left with 200 grams in this. So I'm gonna get down to 287 grams. So normally what you do is you just throw this out, but this is where you have friends and this is where they come in. So I am going to make little packages for you using the starter. So I said 287 grams. So I'm just going to take this out and keep taking out until I get down to 287. So what you will do is you will weigh a container and then put 200 grams of this starter in and you'll be good to go. I'll try and get them down to 200 grams when I give them to you, so you just automatically know that's how much you have. So I'm down to 423. So every day when you feed it, you'll see you're actually going to be wasting this much starter, just throwing it away essentially because you're feeding your starter. So I mean, if you wanted to make a huge starter and you're making like 4 loaves a day, you could just add it in. So I'm down to 295 and I wanted to get down to 287. And I have OCD with this, so I'm gonna sit here and get down to 287. Sorry, 285, 286. One little dab will be 287. Sorry. Uh-oh, it's 288. I'll live with that. All right, so that's how much I'm getting rid of right now. That would normally just be tossed. So I'm gonna put that aside and give it to you guys. So I'll show you what I'm left with. So I'm left with that much. So not a whole heck of a lot. So I have 200 grams because my container weighs 87 grams and I'm at 287 on the dot. So I'm gonna add 200 grams of flour now. So I'm gonna do 1 part starter, 1 part flour, 1 part water. And that's how you feed it. And you're gonna feed it once a day. You can feed it twice a day if you want, but once a day works just fine. So I've already pre-measured the whole wheat flour and it comes out to right at about 1 1/3 cups. So if you don't have a digital scale, you're gonna do 1 1/3 cups. So I'll probably have to, when you get your starter, measure how much starter 200 grams is, because I honestly don't know. Okay, so I'm going to pour that in. So when I look at my scale, it's going to come up to 487. So I stir that in. 488, pretty darn close. And then I am going to add 200 grams of water, which equivalates, there's a new word, is equivalent to 7 ounces of water. So just slightly above 3/4 cup and just slightly below 1 cup. So whatever that is, you math people. So I'm gonna add that in, and this should come up to 687 or 688. 686. So all I'm gonna do now is just stir all this together. The big thing when you stir your starter is just making sure that it's all incorporated. So you're just gonna sit here and stir and stir and stir. And once it's done, you're gonna pop, I'll save some time for you guys. Let's pretend it's all stirred in. You're gonna pop your top on it. Mine has a little vent on the top, so I can put it down all the way. If yours does not have a vent, you need to crack a corner so that it can breathe. And you're just gonna pop this in a non-drafty spot. I put ours in our spare room that has the pellet stove. It's just a little bit warmer. And I let it sit for 24 hours before I feed it again. So this will get fed tomorrow at noonish. If you feed it before, that's fine. If you feed it after, that's fine. When you know that it is ready to use is it's all bubbly, and you're gonna take a glass of water, and you can look all this up on YouTube. You'll put some water in a glass, and you'll take a spoonful of your starter and you'll plop it in. If it floats, it means it's ready to use. The cool thing about sourdough starter in times like this is people are starting to buy all the yeast that's available in the stores. You don't use yeast when you cook with sourdough. It's its own yeast. So, yeah, so really when you make sourdough bread, all you're gonna use is flour. I use bread flour. You can use regular old AP flour that you have at home. You're gonna use water, you're gonna use salt, and you're gonna use starter. It's a little longer process to make it because you've got to let it proof, and it usually takes about 3 times as long to proof than regular old yeast that you pour in. So give yourself some time to make it. It's not a quick process, but you can come out with some really good stuff like I posted the other day. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. I'll give you the link that I use for the recipe. And yeah, so I'll be giving you guys little jars like this. Pass them on to your friends. You can show them this video if you want, so they know how to feed it, but it's super easy to do. It seemed like it was a hard thing at first, but super duper easy. All right, cool. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.